What is up, YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back again today with you guys, another new Speed Duel deck profile, budget deck profile video. As you guys know, last week we just did the match of the millennium budget deck profiles along with the budget Speed Duel match duel, and this week we are moving on to the Twisted Nightmares. So starting off, we are going to be doing the budget deck profile for Yami Bakura, and right here you can just simply purchase 3 copies of the Twisted Nightmare starter decks and build this deck right here, which is ready to go to play. And I know a lot of you guys love the budget deck profile series because it's a great way to introduce you guys into speed duels for a very little amount of money spent. It's only $30, and I think the value you get from these decks are extremely great, and really excited to showcase you guys what we can do here. So just so you guys know, we will be playing against we will be playing a speed duel match as well of the budget deck profiles of Yami Bakura versus Yami Marek. And if you guys haven't seen the Yami Marek deck profile yet, it will be coming out shortly in a few days, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Click that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on those speed duel budget deck profiles as well as the match duels videos coming up. Click that notification bell so you guys get to see that in action and how it goes. Anyways, let's just go straight right into it. As always, quick card sleeve review that we're going to be using. We're going to be using these OCG dark attribute sleeves that just matches Yami Bakura very well. You know, the purple black theme is just totally Yami Bakura's color theme overall, so I thought these are perfect. And also, once again, quick shout out, if you guys are interested in some of the sleeves that I've been using on the YouTube channel and showcasing for our deck profile videos, there are a few different ones available in the AVAULT eBay store. If you guys want to support the channel, be sure to check that out as well. And we do ship internationally. You guys can get access to these exclusive OCG sleeves that you can't really get anywhere else other than in OCG, so they're just really cool. So I highly recommend you guys check it out as well. Anyways, moving into our skill, we are playing a Yami Bakura skill right here. The skill we are playing is Into the Darkness Below. I think this is the better skill compared to the other one overall, and this skill is just really great because it activates the skill during the main phase, and once per turn you can discard 1 fiend monster, then use one of the following skill. So keep in mind, the fiend monster you discard has to be a normal fiend monster. You can either draw a card and then flip this card over, or if you control 4 or more fiend monsters with different names in your graveyard, add 1 monster to your deck from your deck to your hand and then flip this card over. So you can add any monster you desire. That is actually really good. I can see long-term potential with the second part of the skill, adding anything you want. However, the downside is, you guys can see already, this is going to be a very normal monster, fiend normal monster centric type of deck coming up anyway. So as always, moving into our monsters straight up right here, our lineup, we do have to play 2 Dark Necrofears. It is Yami Bakura's ace monster. Dark Necrofear is extremely annoying to deal with when you can bring out. It's fairly easy to bring out as well. You have to banish 3 fiend monsters in your graveyard. They don't necessarily have to be normal, as long as you just banish 3. And basically it's a 2200 attack with 2800 defense, which is kind of hard to run over. But if this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, whether it's effect or by battle, during the end phase, you can actually take control of one of your opponent's monsters and equip this card to it, and basically you take control of your opponent's monsters for the rest of the duel, or as long as Dark Necrofear is equipped to it, I believe. This is really powerful. The whole main goal and heart and soul of this deck is really just trying to bring this out as soon as possible as an alternative solution. Another sort of like semi-boss monster, you are playing 2 Gap the Divine Soldiers right here. It's a single tribute monster, 2200 attack and 2000 defense, which has got decent stats, and all monsters are changed into attack positions as long as this card is basically on the field, and flip effects are not activated at this time no matter what. So basically you stop all flipped effects your opponent controls. It can come in very handy against certain decks as well. It also has an attack boost effect by revealing any number of fiend monsters in your hand, and this card gains 300 attack until the end of the turn, and you can do it basically once per turn. Now moving into our normal monsters lineup, we are playing triple Gilgarth simply because it's just one of the strongest normal fiend monsters, dark type, perfect for this deck. We're also playing triple Whiptail Crow right here. Keep in mind, all these cards that we're playing in this deck profile and deck recipe are available all within the card pool for Twisted Nightmares. Anyways, 3 of these, because these are just basically second highest attack compared to Gilgarth, also dark and fiend type, which is perfect for the deck. Next, we do play 2 the Ghost of Fled Dreams. This is simply because it's also the third best normal monster lining up coming towards after these 2. And then last but not least, we do have to play 4 different kinds in order to utilize our skill. So we do have to play 2 Earthbound Spirits right here, which has 2000 defense and 500 attack, so the defense is quite decent as well right here. But these are the 4 different types of normal monsters you would be playing a lot and within the skill and surrounding the skill by pitching them off and sending them to the graveyard as well, so that you can bring out your Dark Necro Fear. Now that basically rounds up our monsters. It's quite a heavy monster lineup, just simply because you want to use your skill as much as you can, send those cards as soon as possible once again. And then moving to our spells, we are playing 2 Allure of Darkness for draw power, essential. I wouldn't play 3 because if you play 3, you can thin out your deck way too quickly, and you don't want to end up banishing all your dark monsters that you have, because you want them in your graveyard and you need them in your graveyard for Dark Necro Fear. So this is just for a little bit of a draw power option. Next, we are playing 2 Offerings to the Doomed, which is also a really powerful card. I think this card is pretty decent in balancing with this deck, simply because Into the Darkness you can pitch off a monster and draw 1 card, so you do have to skip a draw phase by when you activate Offerings to the Doomed. However, being able to pop any monster you desire is just really great. Last but not least, since we're playing such a heavy normal monster lineup, I think Creature Seizure is a really good card to add into this deck. Each player gives control, the opponent control 1 of their monsters and controller's choice, and you must choose a face-up normal monster. So a lot of your normal monsters, they're just normal monsters. They really don't do much, and you much prefer them in the graveyard. So you can simply bring out these monsters, and if your opponent has a really good monster that you can just simply take, use Creature Seizure, give it to them, and then you take control of their monsters, use their monster to defeat the normal monster you give them, and then your normal monster will be back in your grave ready to go for Dark Necro Fear. So I think this works very well with this deck overall. So that's basically the spell lineup, and a 20 card deck. You don't actually run any traps. I haven't really seen any traps that are really useful in order to bring the combos up with Dark Necro Fear as soon as possible as we were playtesting. So there's actually no traps in this deck whatsoever. Now, so that rounds up for the main deck right here. We are going to move into our extra deck, but just so you guys know, with Twisted Nightmares, there were no fusion monsters or any extra deck kind of monsters that came with that starter deck. I know I heavily stress about having to play at least 6 fusion monsters in your extra deck, regardless what they are. As long as they're speed duel legal, just be sure to put 6. It's simply because you want to diverge your opponent, not into thinking, in concealing sort of what type of deck you're playing, just in case, right? Because you don't want to give it away too obviously, simply because you don't have an extra deck. You know, there's always letting your opponent know that there's always a slight chance that you might be playing the fusion deck or accessing the fusion deck is actually really crucial. And this tip will go very well in the long run for sure, because you just don't want to let them know, oh, I'm playing a Bakura type of deck and straight up I don't have a fusion monster. There it is. But unfortunately, once again, there's no fusion monsters in Twisted Nightmare. So if you guys have any 6 speed duel fusion monsters, be sure to put that in right here. But since it's the budget deck variant, we don't have any, so unfortunately there isn't. Anyways, enough rambling without extra deck. Moving on into our side deck, we do play 2 Faustian Bargains. Faustian Bargains is a great alternative to Creature Seizure. They have a very similar effect. I'm just going to read you guys what it does. Target 1 special summon monster on either field and send it to graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your hand. So being able to, we special summon a lot in speed duels currently, but not all decks actually special summon. The reason I would main deck Creature Seizure is because it works all the time. Faustian Bargain does have that condition that what if you are against a opponent's deck that does not special summon at all. So that's going to be unfortunate on the downside. So this is a great side deck card. So if you do come into a deck that your opponent runs that special summons a lot, Faustian Bargain is actually much better, because you send that monster to the graveyard and then you get to even special summon a normal monster on top of that, which makes it really good. So a great substitute in a specific matchup depending on the case. Next, we do play 2 Twisters right here. Once again, there are much better back row removal cards if you guys have access to them, but once again, because this is a budget deck profile, this is the only back row removal card available in the Twisted Nightmare starter decks. And Twister, you pay 500 life points and you target 1 face of spell trap card on the field and destroy it. not the greatest because you still have to pay a little bit of life points. 500 is slightly significant for speed duels. So once again, if you guys have a different alternative such as Dust Tornado or have access to Dust Tornado, be sure to swap that in instead. But Twister is just great. Any back row removal card that you're side decking is just important because there's a lot of continuous spells, continuous traps, whatnot equips that are going to be really annoying in this meta, and you want to get rid of those cards as soon as possible. Anyways, last but not least, there is the Forceful Checkpoint, a really great reprint that came in for Twisted Nightmares. It used to be an ultra rare, which I forgot which set it came in. Maybe it was Scars of Battle. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. Maybe Attack from the Deep already. It's been a long while. But anyways, we got reprinted as a common, and it's really great. Stopping your opponent's attacks, discarding monsters off their hand. It's just really good in certain matchups as well. So that basically rounds off for the side deck, and this rounds off for the entire deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the AVAULT channel. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this deck profile. Keep in mind it is the budget variant, so we will be doing an optimized full-fledged version with all the available speed duel cards possible sometime down the road with an update with this. Really great and excited just to help you guys get to know the main idea of this deck as we move along into the new meta. And yeah, let me know what cards you guys would suggest to optimize it, add in, take out, send me your deck recipes if you like to share them. Really appreciate your support overall. So be sure to stay tuned for the next budget deck profile, the Yami Bakura one. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on that video. And then after that, we will be doing a speed duel match duel of those two decks against each other to see which one is more powerful and which deck has more promising potential coming up overall. So yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And this is AVAULT signing